How are you today? Okay, cool. I'm good. Thanks for asking. Okay, so I'm up here to talk to you about 3 things, And the first thing is I want to introduce myself and say who I am. And so I'm Angela Kilgore. And then I want to talk to you guys about, how it's through our failures that we find successes. And then I want to talk to you guys about synergy. And so so about myself. I am currently a student at Michigan State University, in East Spartan. Yeah, go green. Yeah, go Spartans. And so I just started my freshman year, and it's really cool because there's not a lot of kids from my school who go there, like a ton of us all together. And the cool thing about that is not a lot of people know a lot about my school, so to me it's like I get to, start this whole thing where it's like, hey, check out my school. And so that's really interesting. And people are always really surprised. They're like, wow, you come from Detroit and you go to Michigan State, and how did you make it? And I'm like, what? It's not that big of a deal. But it really is done because it's like they don't get to see a lot of kids like me. And for a lot of people, it's like that, because here in Detroit, there's a lot of polarized neighborhoods. And so it's really easy to grow up in a neighborhood where you only see kids who are brown and like me, African American. And then you have neighborhoods outside of Detroit where you see a lot of kids who are just white. Well, then you have your Mexican neighborhoods. And so it's just really polarized, and it's not a lot of diversity. But I was really lucky growing up because I always had the best of both worlds, because I went to school in the suburbs where it's kids who didn't really look like me, but they were really cool. And then they were their parents all had college degrees and stuff, and it was really cool hanging out with them and seeing how their parents were really comfortable and didn't have to worry about getting by. And then in my neighborhood, there weren't a lot of kids whose parents were together or parents had college degrees. And so it was always cool seeing the haves and the have-nots. And so it was really good for me. But then as I started hanging out with more kids from my school and less the kids from my neighborhood, it was I was becoming really comfortable with this haves lifestyle, and I almost forgot about the struggle that people in my neighborhood go through. And then through a lot of things, I realized that I just didn't feel comfortable, I wasn't supposed to be there. And so I switched to my neighborhood high school, Denby High School, yeah. And it was a lot of jagged pieces suddenly started fitting together, and that was where I was supposed to be. And it was some leaders are born and others are created. And for me, it was discovering a talent that I didn't know I had. And I did a lot of really great things, and I failed at a lot of really cool things. But it was through my failures that I learned how to succeed. And now I'm succeeding, and I'm at school. And it's just you never should give up on your dream, and you should never settle for a job, and you should always find your passion. That's what I'm discovering, what my passion is, which is leadership. And so I'm succeeding even though people didn't think I was, and I'm a product of the phrase, it doesn't matter where you're from, but where you're going. And so you should never give up no matter how hard the struggle is, because no matter how hard it is, it's always worth it in the end. And I'm also here to talk about the fact that there's this really cool movement going on where people are getting tired of accepting the standards of living that is well below what it should be. And so instead of accepting the fact that they can't get a proper education, they can't feel safe in their neighborhood, and they can't be who they want to be, they're changing it. And slowly but surely, this change is taking effect. And so some people, they don't really like the fact this change is happening, and they want to discourage it, and they want to discourage others. And I'm here to say that even if you don't want to be a part of the change, and even if you are fine with the way things are, with the fact that America is becoming, the middle class is disappearing, it's like America is becoming either you have cash, and if you have cash, you continue in that direction, or you don't. You don't have to stop the movement, and you don't have to be an indecent person and make people feel like they're not worthy, because we all are important. We all have something to contribute. So I guess I want to end this by saying, you can do one of 3 things. You can lead, which is what I'm doing. You can follow, or you can get the hell out of the way, because either way, the movement is going to continue. Thank you.